All right, we're live, 228. Feeling great as we commence. Let's do it.
All right.
As soon as I clear my throat, video audience gets to see all the gnarly bits. All right. Hello and welcome to episode 228 of the Nerdstravaganza podcast, a podcast without regrets. I'm Tom.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Cam.
And in this episode, we'll be discussing nerdy missed opportunities or geeky things that maybe we came to later in life. First, though, I will remind our listeners that we'll regret it if you don't check us out on iTunes and give us all the accolades possible. We'll make you regret it somehow. So do that. We appreciate it. And with that reminder now out of the way, I guess we get into tonight's episode, and the way we traditionally do that is by visiting recent past that we never regret with our weekly geekly weekly update. Cam, why don't you kick off the festivities?
Pretty tame week for me this week. Just actually had a lot of work to do, so I was sort of stuck with that. Shocker, me having work to do, but I actually did get some of that done. Was able to make it to the Adventure Game Store, play some games over there. I don't know if I mentioned this in my previous Geekly, but the semester started back up at the law school I teach at, so been consumed with that and some other things. I was able to get in some game time though, and some fun time. I watched Stranger Things, the Netflix show that everyone is all excited about. I liked it. Wouldn't say I loved it, or I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the D&D references and some of the '80s references, but to me, it's like it was too much of an amalgamation. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys have ever been to, and I don't want to if they're ever a sponsor, it sucks, but I think it's called Blue Martini. Have you ever heard of that bar? Or that string of bars or whatever?
Yep.
The problem I've always had with that place is that it tries to be everything in one. It's like in the back they've got the tiki area where people can hang out. Then it tries to be a blues club. It has this, or whatever, that has a stage where people perform. Then it tries to be a sports bar. It's got all these TVs. Then it tries to be a club. It's got bottle service and a dance floor. It's everything you everything you hate about every club, put into one. But even if you like clubs, it's every single type of club or bar all mixed into one. Oh, and then it tries to be a tapas restaurant with the little food plates and stuff. It's pick one thing and go with it, So same thing I had with Stranger Things. Really enjoyed the story, really enjoyed the characters, really enjoyed everything, but it seems like they tried to plug in a bunch of stuff just for nostalgia's sake.
Well, Cam, I gotta say they did strike one real chord with me, and I feel I want to tell everybody this, but I feel I'm just trying to hop onto the bandwagon and be a poser,
Yeah.
But the Demogorgon monster they refer to in the first episode,
right.
My very first exposure to D&D was with this kid Neil, and he was explaining how it works, and this campaign his brother was on, and that was one of the first monsters I ever was let in on, and at least as I remember it, in that childhood depiction, and I have not used the internet, it was this weird monkey creature with tentacle arms or something.
Yeah, it's an 8-headed or something, several-headed monkey. Yeah, it wasn't what they showed. Yeah,
some freaky looking creature. Yeah, so I don't know. But they're trying to appeal to me. They're trying to appeal to everybody with any kind of throwback nostalgia, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the Demogorgon, I think, was brothers with Orcus, if I remember correctly. And those monsters, unless you're level 1,000,000 or 20, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not gonna defeat them with a 13 roll fireball, or whatever it was that they were trying to do.
I mean, you can't even encounter them on the prime material plane, can you?
They're ridiculously crazy. You would have to have insane stats to even try to fuck with them. But yeah, I mean, but it was cool though. I mean, look, anything that promotes D&D and role, RPGs and games and that kind of stuff, I'm fine with. But like I said, I really liked it. But I sort of am taking the Brian role in this one, where There were a lot of things that sort of poked out, sort of like that, and then even just like little things were like. I forget exactly what happened, and it's not a spoiler, but it was like a little joke that the kid made. He was like, "Yeah, his rank must, he would have had to have a rank of 13 to do that or whatever." And I was like, "It's stat." Or like, I just little things like that just sort of rub me the wrong way, like, I don't know. But, yeah, I liked it. Let's see what else. I finished the sixth and final Mistborn book. It's, I can't remember what it's calling it right now. I can't remember what it's called right now, but, I just read it now. It's like killing me. Not Shadows of Self. It was the not Alloy of Law. The Bands of Mourning. I'm sorry. Yeah. So there's the original trilogy, which is like, with Kelsier and those guys, and that's in the first 3 books, and then the second 3 books take place like 100 years in the future from that first trilogy, and so I finished the 3rd of the second trilogy, and that was good, and. Yeah, that's it. I'm just waiting for the second Chuck Wendig book, the Star Wars book, to be available on Overdrive, and then that'll be my next project. And yeah, that's it.
Wait for the second Chuck Wendig appearance on our show. I cannot believe that guy has not come back on yet.
I know, he's Hollywood.
Nice, man. Sounds like a fun week. Brian, What about you?
I think I just mentioned this a little while ago. I've actually been pretty sick, so I have not done much of anything. I actually laid in bed binging a television series, and I don't know. I don't feel I've ever binged before. Like, I've never just done nothing all day but catch up on a television show. So I'm saving the title of that show for the actual meat of the episode, because it is one that I probably should have seen 20 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever. Really, really, really good thing that I can't believe I missed. And been on the mend for the last couple of days, so I started painting, largely due to Tom's enthusiasm.
Nice.
Started painting, I think his name's Diamondback or something like that, for Relic Knights. Big robot with an axe.
Sweet.
Nice, man. Hopefully I have time to, your gift that I brought you back from PAX along those lines may have to wait until I come back from my next trip out to Seattle, but I do have a really cool gift for you, Brian.
Just make sure you feed
it. Yes. Keep it alive. Anything else?
No, sadly.
All right, that's fine.
Sick sucks.
Glad you're feeling better. Let's see, my week has been kind of subdued as well. I have just been playing a little bit of... Well, I'm back in Florida for like a week, then I'm going back out to Seattle. Crazy traveling, post-PAX and so on. But playing a little more Batman Arkham Knight. I think I'm getting pretty close to the end of that game. It's pretty good, actually. I'm enjoying it. More tank combat, which I still am not feeling in a Batman game for some reason. And I ordered them while I was gone on your recommendation during our show, Cam, but they got here in my absence, and so they're new to me.
Nice.
I cracked open my Street by 50 Star Wars headsets, and we got just the basic Rebel one and the. I guess it's the Empire one, the Dark Side one, whatever. And let my lady have her pick. She chose the Rebel one, of course.
Sweet.
Yeah, which is fine. And I told her that you got all of them, and that would probably be a good idea. And she didn't. Is that sale still on, or was that a temporary thing?
Let me check. I think. I hope it is, because my brother came home and I'm dog sitting for him, okay. And he came to drop off his dog because he went on this whirlwind vacation, and he's like, "Oh, sweet, man." He's like, "I'm gonna take these Boba Fett ones." I was like, "Great, fine. Now I gotta buy another pair."
They're pretty cool. They're the boxes they come in that are actually really substantial.
That's what I was saying. They're like good headphones. They're not like.
Did you keep the boxes, or did you toss them?
No, I kept them. I'm a pack rat. I keep everything.
I am too, and I hate to say it, those are going to have to be kept because they look great.
Absolutely.
My companion doesn't like that idea either, but she'll come to see my way.
It's easier in Florida when you have a little more room as opposed to out there, I'm sure. In Seattle.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, the deal is still going.
Oh, nice. I might have to complete the set.
Yeah, I actually I bought another pair too. I bought the ones we got are the first edition. I got the second edition, the TIE Fighter edition.
Oh.
And they're like $10 more, but they're even more substantial than the ones we have actually.
You got to link me to those. I might have to make those happen too. God knows I don't have enough.
Oh man. So yeah. Well, but see, the whole thing is now I feel like a dick because now the iPhone 7 is going to come out and I don't have any jacks.
Oh, just switch to Android, man. What are you doing?
Exactly. I should.
I mean, Apple at this point, Apple's like begging you to abandon them. So
I know.
Just give them what they seem to want.
I linked it to you in the chat there.
Cool. I have not sold on. I was an early adopter of Bluetooth back when like it became reviled for being the stamp of like a douchebag.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was like, ooh, what's this wireless thing? But then as I started to read about it, like the amount of radiation it like emits into your ear and all this, I'm like, I'll go with wired. And now Apple's basically making you like have radiation to the head. So
yeah. I mean, you already have radiation to the nuts while you carry it around in your pocket, the phone in your pocket. Now you got radiation to your head too.
Right. Between that and the laptop, my children are going to come out really bizarrely shaped, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for the link, and that's my update. That's all I got, which, of course, brings us to the news extravaganza. I think we need music for that, by the way.
I know.
Right.
Absolutely. Do you guys play League of Legends?
I do not.
Nope. Well, I guess us three are like the only three people that are not playing because it apparently has 100 million active players per month.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, they just crossed that threshold. League and Heroes of the Storm seem to be like the really big things lately. I don't know. I mean, everyone I know is either playing League or HOTS.
HOTS, yeah.
Yeah.
More power to them.
Yeah.
They have the time and the inclination.
A game that I would play and that I am looking forward to playing is delayed, Kingdom Hearts 2.8.
Oh, yeah.
HD is delayed until 2.8 HD 2.8 HD.
Which is a prequel to Kingdom Hearts 3 or something like that, right?
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Crazy. So that they're gonna get my money, but it won't be until 2017, I guess. Did you guys know that South Park is 20 years old?
I did. Yes.
20 years old and still going strong. I remember when The Simpsons hit 20 and I was like, all right, yeah, that makes sense because I love The Simpsons, you know? And I love South Park too, but I'm surprised that a show that's – because, you know, The Simpsons is much more mainstream than South Park.
Yep.
And I don't know, man. That's crazy that they made it 20 years.
I actually I think it was last year. I think I talked about it on the podcast. I did like a whole binge, like beginning to like year 19 of South Park.
Yeah.
And
on Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix.
I did the same thing.
And actually, the episode is tonight as we're recording this.
Wow, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
How dare we compete with South Park?
I know. What's going on? I'm sure we're cutting into their ratings.
I'm sure. I'll check it out on Hulu though, so no biggie.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Google is pretty. They're pretty confident that their Android phones, their Nexus, cannot be hacked. They've offered independent hackers $200,000. If they can hack their Google Nexus 6P or 5X running Android 7.
Oh wow! Okay, I have that very phone. So
if they can use it, if they have an email and a phone number, that's all they're allowed to have, and they can hack the phone, they will get $200,000.
Wow,
that's a nice prize.
I mean, I guess that's a pretty cool way to like beta test your security software, right? I mean, I don't know. It's like because I mean, you could hire someone to come in, but you're only getting their perspective, right? But I mean, these kids out there that, I mean, they can fucking hack anything, and so it's actually, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, incentivize them, sure.
Yeah, and get them, working for good, because obviously they're going to learn from that and then, fix the patches. But if I was a savvy hacker, I'd do it, but then I wouldn't tell them everything. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, I hacked it like this, but then the other 3 ways that I figured out how to get in, I wouldn't let them know.
Yeah, I'd make 600,000 instead of 3.
Yeah.
This time we know nobody will ever hack it, but we're up in the ante to 500,000. Oh, okay, hey, look at that! I found something else.
Yeah. So, yep. So, this one I pulled up for Brian. Did you know, Brian, that there are now Nazi furries?
Oh God.
The internet gutter just gets wider and wider. So Nazi furries are obvious, are not obvious, but are the recent craze in furrydom, and yeah, they are taking over Reddit and a lot of the other social media sites.
I'm into a lot of weird shit, so I'm actually kind of okay with furries, but I mean, aside from the joke, like, "Oh, Nazis sure knew how to dress," I don't see how anybody can take pride in that identity. Like, that's a weird one to me, man.
So you're like a raccoon or a panda bear, but you have like a Nazi armband on or something?
Yeah, there's all these videos of them, like, doing the like Heil Hitler sign in like front of like Nazi flags and stuff, and I think that's like their particular subset, or I don't even know what they're like. I don't know, your clan, or I don't know what they call them. Their pack or whatever. Like, you can be like a Nazi pack.
That is such a bizarre mashup.
Again, no expert, but from what I know, like, the animals don't generally get along, so maybe being Nazis is actually pretty accurate.
Sorry, what? There's like discord between the different animal tribes, Brian?
Yeah, I don't think like you're really supposed to associate with raccoons if you're like a wolf. I mean,
oh, please tell me that that's a real thing. I need that to be. Niches within niches. Wow.
I mean, look, I get it. If you were like actually making those suits, and that's a pretty awesome like skill set to have, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, just like cosplay, like people that actually like make their own cosplay, I think is like, that's amazing. I mean, I couldn't do it, like I buy my freaking onesies from Target, but like if it's like something that you actually like use as a trade craft, then hey, that's awesome. But I think most of these weirdos just buy them and go around trying to bang chicks that they think are hot underneath the suit,
I don't. I'm still really puzzled as to how you know what's underneath the suit, or if you negotiate that in advance.
Well, a lot of them are like sexy, some of them I've seen at the conventions, like they're not just like a full, and I don't know if that's like, a faux pas in like furrydom, if it's not like a full.
Yeah, but that's like what I wear to a con, not like, I mean.
Yeah, no,
but
what
no idea.
Yeah, no, but what I mean is like the sexy girls wear like, it might have like a furry head, but like it's like the sexy, whatever. Like it's not, it's showing skin. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's like a fursuit.
Right. It's like they're wearing like a bikini with like a couple little fur patches here and there, but with the head. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Oh, so you get an idea that the body is attractive, but it could just be it could still be a bag over the head scenario, though. You don't know what's underneath.
It could be a bag over the head scenario.
But I guess if you like the fur head, you don't care.
But that's the thing. It's like it comes pre-bagged, right? I mean,
yeah. You don't have to put the bag on. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess if you're attracted to like anthropomorphized animals, then that's kind of okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, whatever. I mean, teach their own, right? And just to bring it full circle, it appears that Samsung, Tom, is also contemplating removing their headphone jack.
Oh, good for them.
So I don't know, but I guess they're gonna like try to one up Apple and have like, instead of having to carry that like adapter, I guess you're gonna have with the Apple phone. They're gonna have like a proprietary port.
That's good.
But like, why not just keep the fucking headphone a jack then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I can't imagine that the space that thing takes up in the phone is that much like prime real estate that they need, especially if you're going to replace it with a different port anyway.
That's what they say, like, is it's making the phone too thick. They want this paper thin phone. So
do either of you need a thinner phone?
no, I'm good to go right now.
No,
I don't
I mean,
need
this
a
thing
thin
is-
phone.
I mean, even with a
this
case, yeah, this thing is like, I don't know.
This is my OtterBox, and I bought it because I'm clumsy and drop shit. So it's thin in an OtterBox. When I take my phone out to clean, like, I am uncomfortable with how frail it feels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I don't want a thinner phone.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
this thing is, you can barely even like. I mean, look how it's like
Yeah.
it's like razor thin, and this is with a case on it. Oh, by the way, check out this cool Lord of the Rings case I got.
That's a sweet case.
But yeah, I get what you're saying, Brian. I mean, they're already so thin. But look, people want thinner, smaller. I mean, I guess eventually they're gonna have to take stuff out. But
Who wants this shit? I mean, I don't. Well, whatever. I don't care. They could. I left the Apple camp a long time ago, and if Samsung's going to follow suit, there are plenty of other Android alternatives. I mean, I'll show the audience I'll show you guys too. This is for the audio listeners. I'm holding my 6P up to the
oh, nice.
camera. You can't really see it because I have this hideous like plastic case over it. But when you take it out, this is a beautiful phone, and I'll show you real quick. But I'm afraid to take it out of the case because it's so beautiful. I don't want to mess it up. But like this is the hack. I invite anybody to hack my hacker-proof phone. Like, that's the back of it.
Sweet.
It's like a really nice looking phone, actually. So
That's awesome.
but yeah. I mean, that's thin enough, isn't it? I don't know.
That's pretty damn thin.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're gonna go to the thing where it's like, it's just your watch, or it's like something that you even like. I mean, I'm ready for if we're gonna get to where it's so small that especially at like $600, $700 a pop, it's gonna get to the point where it's so frail and so small that you can easily lose it or break it. Then fuck it, man. Just keep it like a reasonable size, and then let's just wait till we get to the like, wearables or integrated technology where it just goes in my head or something.
Right. That's the next logical step.
Wasn't it the 5, the iPhone 5, that was already so thin that it was bending in your pocket?
Well, those were the hipsters that were wearing like skinny jeans.
But still, that says a lot.
I mean, that's pretty reasonable wear. That's not like, oh, it got crushed in a construction site. Like, I mean, I don't like skinny jeans, but a lot of people do.
No, but the problem is they wear their skinny jeans, so they can't put it in the front pocket. They have to put it in their back pocket, and then they're constantly sitting on it.
Oh.
So that's like, so it was bending to like the curve of their ass, basically.
I actually did think it was the hip. That's a little bit different. Yeah.
No. It's they have to put it.
Sit on your phone.
Yeah, you have to put it in your back pocket because the skinny jeans are so tight you can't put it in your front pocket.
Do you guys remember, like, it's a weird sort of dated thing that kind of missed the boat on where technology was going, but do you remember in Zoolander way back in the day? Zoolander was that... Yeah, it was that movie starring... what's that guy's name? Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller, yeah, where he and Owen Wilson are these like really empty-headed supermodel guys, and yeah, they have a flip phone that's so tiny you hold it between your index finger and your thumb and hold it up to your ear. Because remember, the trend then was smaller and smaller and smaller phones.
Yeah, I remember. I can't remember. I want to say Ultraviolet, but I don't think it was Ultraviolet. It was a movie with Mila Jovovich. It was one of those type movies, futuristic whatever movies, and she went to like a vending machine and bought a phone, and it like was just like a little piece of cardboard that she like, I don't know, like just like folded over. Do you guys remember what movie I'm talking about?
No, it was like disposable or something, or
yeah, it was like a little teeny like just like almost piece of paper that she folded over and it turned into a phone. God, it wasn't Ultraviolet because I think that was Charlize Theron, wasn't it?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I think so.
It was a movie where she was like a female assassin type. Maybe Eon Flux.
Maybe
Eon Flux.
Maybe one of the 15 vampire movies she's been in.
No, it wasn't the Umbrella Corp. It wasn't one of those movies.
Oh no, Mila, I'm confusing her with the other girl that's in the other the Vampire versus Werewolf series. Sorry.
Underworld. You're thinking of Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah. Oh wow, I don't know how I could confuse those award-winning franchises. I put those down as kind of guilty pleasures of mine, though.
Yeah, the original Underworld wasn't so bad, but once they started getting in like down the road, it was.
I just remember, I think it was the original Underworld. Yeah, I think it was the original one where the old vampire wakes up. They're like there's like this fight going on in his chambers, and they've already poured the blood on him, and they're waking him up or whatever. And Cornelius or whatever his name is, he wakes up, and I just thought the voice was so funny because it was like, "What's all this noise?"
One werewolf, two werewolf.
What's all this racket? Like, sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up.
That's hilarious. Just to follow up, also, Tom, the Demogorgon is the Prince of Demons, and it wasn't Orcus's brother; it's his chief rival and enemy, Orcus, Prince of Demons or whatever, Prince of Death. Or Prince of Undeath. I'm sorry, I have this figure. I'm looking at his figure right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and he is a double-headed baboon. That is, I knew he had several heads, but I couldn't remember how many. I'm just looking at his stats right now. He is, let's see, he's 18 feet tall.
It's pretty big.
Lizard-like body, covered in scales, 2 tentacles for arms, long, thick forked tail. And his stats are 200 HP, -8 AC. He gets 3 attacks per turn.
Nice.
You require a +2 or better weapon to hit, and he has 95% magic resistance.
Wow. Nice.
So good luck.
Good luck.
Fighting the Demogorgon.
Good luck with your little mid-level guys and your and your stupid fireball spell, which is gonna bounce right off them.
Yeah, plus my 95% resistance. That fireball is going to do jack shit.
If it hits, it probably won't even do that much damage to him. Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, just for nerd accuracy's sake.
Stupid show. I like it, but yeah.
No, it was a good show. Yeah.
Cool. Any more news? We kind of we're on a meander.
No, that's it. We're done.
All right. Well, you sort of got on the nostalgia topic there with that show, and that gets us to tonight's topic, which is one that Brian kind of came up with. So, Brian, if I'm describing it incorrectly, do correct me. But it's an idea we've been kicking around for a while, and it was about maybe things we missed out on back in the day, or things that we came to later in life, and then we're like, man, I wish I discovered this sooner. Brian, you were mentioning the show you were binging on as an example. Would you like to make that the first example?
Avatar: The Last Airbender? Did you guys ever see that?
I never did. I regret that.
Dude, that shit was like amazing. That was really good.
That's what I've heard.
Which is why the movie was so disappointing, I think. Last Airbender movie.
I actually really like Ang Lee. So I watched that movie before I watched the series. And yeah, no love of the series could make that any worse.
Who made the movie?
It was Ang Lee, wasn't it?
Oh God, he did the Hulk.
Yeah.
That should.
He did Ice Storm, and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. He done some amazing films. And he got hit in the head.
Anyway, the show is awesome, and you wish you had seen it sooner now, huh?
It's one of the things that I really I really like to see in a cartoon, because it is not a cartoon. Like, it is not a wacky series of adventures, like a guy with a big head hunting a rabbit or anything like that. It really is an animated television series with character development, new discoveries. Like, it's every bit as good as anything in primetime. Probably tighter, because I don't think it ever had that, like, well, you got to stretch it out 30 seasons, guys. Like,
no powering up for 4 episodes or doing like push-ups in a capsule while you're on your way to fight Frieza. None of that crap.
yeah. It was not fill space. It was really tell a story.
Cool. I'll have to check that out. That is actually something I've talked about, something I regret. I wish I'd caught that. And
that is on Prime right now. Actually, that's where I watched it.
I'll have to make that happen.
And I'm not surprised, like, in the least. Like, everybody I've ever spoken to has said that that was a brilliant cartoon series. I have no excuse. I have no idea why I never got around to watching it before. Like,
yeah, I think
just didn't.
Sometimes when I hear people say stuff, it makes me, I don't know, sometimes the hype makes me not want to watch something. As bad as that is. Bad habit, I guess. Bad, not habit. What's the word I'm looking for? Bad way to deal with things.
That's sort of how I was with Stranger Things. At first, it was just a timing thing because I was out of the country, and then I was at Gen Con or whatever. And when I was at Gen Con, my fiance companion watched it without me. So I was like, all right, well, screw it. Then I'm not going to watch it. Forget it. You know, then it was a principle thing, you know. But I don't know. I was bored the other night, and I was like, screw it. Let me just watch it. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad I did, but again, like it's always like after the hype, it sort of falls flat.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, regardless of reasons, we may have missed a good show. Or I missed that one. So Brian, you finally got around to watching it. Was the hype part of the reason you didn't watch it in the first place, or just something you didn't get to back in the day?
Yeah, I think like I actually have to own up to a little bit of prejudice here. Like everybody said, "Oh, it's American anime," and I don't know. I just don't like that concept. Like I like, American animation, American storytelling. I like that, and then I like Japanese storytelling, Japanese aesthetics. Like I don't know. Like I did not believe that the two worlds could mix as well at all, actually. And certainly not as well as they did.
Nice, man. So a great discovery that you came to a bit later in life, and you're better for it. All right. So that's kind of an example, Cam.
Yeah.
That's one direction you can go, and another direction is that's a very positive direction. Yeah. So something maybe you discovered a little later, or that you maybe missed out on that you regretted. So you get the idea. Go for it.
No, I still to this day have not watched Titanic.
Oh,
and I never will discover it.
Don't. There's no regrets there. I'm so glad you haven't watched it.
Because by then it was so hyped up, I was like, forget this stupid movie.
I have a really great Titanic story, and it's picking on somebody. I apologize for it, but I won't mention any names. I don't want to be mean-spirited, but I did not like that movie, and I understand that every woman in the universe did. And I was talking to somebody at work, and this is years ago, and I mean, I spoiled the ending.
No,
come on.
The thing is, like, I really didn't think it was possible to spoil the ending of the Titanic. I kind of thought everybody knew the ship went down.
Somebody got mad at you because you said the ship sunk?
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm totally serious.
Don't ruin the ending!
Don't even seen it yet! What?
Wow.
I mean... Wow.
It's crazy.
That's pretty stupid. Yeah. Wow.
That is crazy.
So Titanic is a regret, Cam? It shouldn't be.
No. My regret is, and it actually wasn't even my fault. It was my parents' fault, and I will curse them to the day I die. When I was a kid, everyone had a light bright. All my freaking friends had the light bright. I was so jealous that I didn't have my own light bright. Right? And so I asked, like, for like months, and it was like the stupid, what's that, Christmas Story with the Red Ryder BB gun,
Yeah.
I asked, like, for months before Christmas, make sure I want a light bright. Come on, I'm being extra good. I really want a light bright. Santa has to bring me a light bright. Don't worry. We'll talk to Santa. It's fine. Santa knows that you want a light bright. Christmas comes, and don't you fucking know it? No fucking light bright.
Oh, Santa, no.
Like, I seriously, like, it was one of those moments when I was like, God damn it, man! Like, what do I got to do here? It's like one of those things that really, like, I mean, I must have been like 6. I mean, I was a young kid, but like, and I remember like getting pissed at my parents, being like, "Where the fuck's the light bright? Like, where is my goddamn light bright?" And then I could tell that they were like upset because they just forgot. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, And then they were like, "Well, you should be lucky that you got anything," because then they like, as soon as they like. what, which is true. I should have been just happy that I got whatever I got. Then I felt like shit because then I felt like I ruined Christmas for them, and like it was just a total like family fucking debacle or whatever.
Oh my!
And to this day, I still have never owned a light bright, but
I mean, it was a pegboard thing with a light, right?
Actually, I take that back. When I was in law school, I remember we were sitting around like studying or whatever, and like I told that story to my little group which became like really close friends of mine, my study group. And I think my birthday one year or something, they got me a light bright, just like as like a joke gift, or whatever. But I don't know what the hell that is now. Like,
Brian, did you have a light bright?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. You're probably the first person I've ever known, Cam, to not have had a light bright.
Thanks for rubbing the salt in the wound there.
As I recall, you had these boards with little holes in them, and you would poke the little glowy pegs in them. But once you did that, then they were poked through, right? So were those like?
No, it was interchangeable. You could like make.
Yeah, it was a little like cardboard sheet. It was like almost paint by number.
Okay, but once you poked the thing through, there was a hole in the board, right?
Yeah.
But you'd swap out the boards, right? So if you wanted to make the clown, you made the clown. But then, like, if you wanted to make the clown again, you could just put that sheet back in, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to freestyle it, which of course no kid ever did.
Yeah.
I don't even know what was so fun about the light bright. It was just mesmerizing because it was so like it was so shiny. When you're a kid, you're just like, oh.
Yeah, and you like turn the lights off, and it's like this big light.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man, missed out on so much childhood fun.
So sorry, man. That is the epitome of a first world problem.
It is 100%. Forget all the other stuff my parents got me. But no, I've gotten over that. But I just remember it was like the tragedy of all tragedies at the time.
Nice. All right, I guess that brings it around to me. I'm so sorry to hear about your tragic news. That was pretty bad.
Yep.
Oh,
sorry.
A certain dog feels the same way.
Puppy problems. Hold on, let me.
Sure. Cam is seeing to it that his dog is removed.
Yeah. Yes, I just sternly reprimanded her.
Mine was sorry to fire up for a second there. I don't know if you heard it, so hopefully.
No, it's funny. She doesn't say a damn word until I get on here, and then it's like.
Right. Well, mine has become an active dreamer lately, and actually, I'm looking over at him. He's like watching the door. He must hear a frog jumping outside or something. God, he has these keen senses. You know how dogs are.
Oh, yes.
Okay, anyway, around to me. Thing that I regret. Don't you start, dog.
I know, right?
Getting this dog. No. Thing that I regret is back in... Okay, so I'm pretty into wrestling now, and I was into wrestling like when I was a kid, and there was a period of time when I was really just a huge period of time when I wasn't into it, and now I'm into it again. I got into it maybe 5 or 6 years ago again. But the time when I should have been into it, there were a couple of periods of time. One all in the 90s. First, I should have been around for the ECW stuff, which was this independent promotion that kind of really changed wrestling, and it was just insane. Like thumbtack matches and barbed wire, and just brutality, and like it was like Mad Max style insanity. And I think I was in the military at the time, which wasn't really an excuse, but I was a little distracted. So I regret having missed out on the ECW run. And then in WWE, I also missed out on the Attitude Era, which was like by all accounts like the highlight of like the WWE's run. And I missed out on the pinnacle of competition between when WWE had a credible threat in WCW, and they were like battling it out in what they called the Monday Night Wars, where they were like fighting each other for dominance. And like, I don't know, I missed some like epic eras in wrestling, and I kind of blame Brian, the staff at Babbage's, who like we used to mock the wrestling fans that would come in and ask for all the games and stuff, because that's what I should have been watching, and I was just like, this is lame. These customers suck.
There's a few things that I personally enjoy, but like the fan base ruins it for me. Like I always go to this because I think a lot of people can relate to it. Marilyn Manson. I like Marilyn Manson, but you cannot talk to anyone about Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, the fans are assholes, right? Or super hyper opinionated assholes.
Hyper opinionated, like it's just dangerous topic of conversation. It's like politics, religion, Maryland. Like no. Ooh, those games were I don't know. They were video games.
The wrestling games, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I ever even played many of the games. I think I was, but the fans, like, I want to say customers. Let me put it more accurately. The shaved apes that would come loping into the store to pick them up would make anybody hate wrestling. Like, Brian, remember? Hey, when's Roswell coming out? What? When's Roswell coming out? What are you saying?
I don't know if this is still a thing, but like once upon a time, we had like staff meetings about like this is what they say, this is what they mean. Just hand them this video game and take their money, and people would pronounce it was Raw is war. They'd walk up, Roswell, like New Mexico.
Yeah, I had no clue.
Area 51, what? Like Roswell.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck you want, man. I'm sorry. Like, look around. Maybe we have it.
Yeah, that was the source of endless confusion. And then every iteration of like the regular releases of the wrestling games was another big like flood of people. I don't know. Maybe I was elitist at the time, or maybe we really did have shitty customers. But man, that was super off-putting. And there were a couple times, I never told you guys, but I would be flipping through the channels and I was catching some stuff on TV. And I'm like, man, this actually looks super interesting. But nope, I can't watch wrestling. I can't be part of these people's scene.
Wrestling and NASCAR is kind of the same thing to me. Like, I enjoy it. I'll watch it, but I can never follow it. Like, I don't have any idea, like, who the popular guy is or anything like that. But if you put it on, I'll have fun.
If you watch wrestling for a week, you'll be into it. I'm telling you. It's compelling stuff, man. They, not to get too far into it, basically they've split into two different shows that are separate and competing, quote unquote, with totally different rosters, and it's been pretty entertaining. So
I miss the crazy costumes and stuff, man. Like, they need to bring that era back.
They've got crazy gimmicks. I won't say the costumes go over the top, but there's definitely some pretty interesting. I watched a match the other night between these two, like, kind of like Jersey Shore, like extreme stereotype guys, and a couple of Puerto Rican guys who, like, they weren't sure they had a hard time finding their gimmick. But basically, it was like, come to Puerto Rico, and they're called the Shining Stars, and they call Puerto Rico the Shining Star of the Caribbean. They're always talking about Puerto Rico. Well, before the match, they were backstage handing out like timeshare brochures, and then as they're walking their way out to the match, they're handing out timeshare. They're trying to sell a Puerto Rican timeshare to members of the audience. It's fucking hilarious, man. Like those kind of gimmicks are hilarious, and I think that they were like on steroids back in the era that I missed. So. Anyway, that's my regret. That's my WWE regret, but I think I'm making up for it by watching it now. And that's mine. You guys want to do another round?
Sure.
All right. So, Brian, back to you.
Start with Cam. I actually have to think.
All right, Cam, go ahead. You kick it off.
Let's see. So something I regret not getting involved in as a kid. Is that the gist of it here?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Other than my light bright, you know, I feel like you know, I was pretty heavy into D&D, but I would have been a lot more into it if that stupid like movie wouldn't have come out and like the whole like scare of like whatever, you know what I mean? Where like the
Mazes and Monsters.
Yeah, the Bible thumpers.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, where like the Bible thumpers were like, you know, it's the devil and the devil's gonna take your kids over, because my mother took that shit to heart.
Oh yeah.
She like threw out all my shit and like wouldn't let me play. Like I had to do it in secret. Like it wasn't like this cool mom in Stranger Things that let her kid like, you know, chill in the basement with his friends and do it all day. But like I had to do it in secret, and like we had to do it at school, and like it was just like
I totally feel the pain. Did I tell you about the crazy fundamentalist lady who came and took my stuff?
No.
We had this like crazy Christian fundamentalist neighbor, and my grandma at the time was pretty religious herself, which is how she knew her. It came in and saw me reading a choose your own adventure book with like a monster on the front.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you reading? And then like looked at the book and inspected it and was like mortified, like, oh, like full on had the vapors. And then to my grandma, you let him read such filth, and she's like, oh, he has all kinds of books like that. And then yeah, she seized all my D&D stuff and burned it. She took it. She wasn't enough to throw it away. You had to burn it, Cam.
Wow.
So you regret having like been subjected to that kind of stuff, basically.
Well, that and like the fact that I probably would have been, I probably lost out on countless hours of play because I had to like sneak around and do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I still did it and I still played a lot. Like, you know, whenever we'd have a sleepover at a cool friend's house or whatever, you know, whose parents were cool or whatever, like would let us play, then we would do it. But like, you know, I could never host it at my house. You know, certain of my other friends' parents were the same way. They wouldn't allow it. It was just like, ugh.
But what
almost felt like you were doing something wrong, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But what could you have done to change that? Because like you were in no way at fault, right?
Right, absolutely nothing. I mean, there's no way I was changing my mind. I mean, my mom still to this day thinks it's like, you know, the devil. So, you know, and my mom is a very smart, like very awesome person. She just, you know, for whatever reason, that just whoever did that like smear campaign really did a number on you know, like God-fearing people.
It was a lot of these like these people who make dubious biblical claims to back up their weird stances on things. They get on these moral crusades because it gets them in the headlines, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
One of the reasons, I guess I'm blessed in a way, one of the reasons I've always been into not just D&D, but like, you know, a lot of different role-playing systems is because one of my friends' mother was exactly like you're describing, and you're fighting demons and casting magic spells, that not in my house. And her kid, my friend, was just like, is it all right if we call them superheroes and special powers instead? Yeah, that's fine. And we just played X-Men and shit.
Yeah, no. I remember. I knew this kid actually. My God.
And that was perfectly fine. Like, I mean, I don't know. Take the demons out and call spells powers, and you're good. So
we're fighting atheists, Mom. Oh, okay, that's fine. I guess. Dumb. Anyway, Cam, sorry you had to sneak around and hide your gaming.
That's all right, man.
Brian, if you're not ready, I could go next.
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. I, for the dumbest reason ever, did not like a particular comic book character. When you hear who it is, you're going to be like, what? Just because I didn't like the way the word sounded, I didn't know what it was. I hated, would not give a chance, would not look at, didn't want to hear anything about Wolverine. Because
what?
Because kids went nuts about him, talked about him all the time, how awesome he was, he's the best hero ever, and I just hated his name, and I hated the hype, and for really no rational reason, I was like, I hate Wolverine, he's stupid. And I really had no clue about the character at all. Only in high school did I find out, like, oh, this is actually a badass character. What was I thinking?
Yeah.
But,
I mean, except for Batman, he was my absolute favorite. Aside from Batman.
He definitely is, like, I would say in my top. He's got that, like, yeah, he's indestructible, but he has that kind of, like, plausibility like that Batman has somehow, right? He's just like an average guy that has this power.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Batman has no powers, but I don't know. I think his plausibility, does that seem like the right term? I think that's what I like about him, and that's probably what you also like about Batman too, right, Cam?
Yeah, and plus a lot of his powers, well, his quote-unquote powers, like the adamantium and stuff like that, were like forced into him,
yes.
like at like, you know, great pain and like, you know, loss of his memory, loss of his, you know, a lot of different shit. So you sort of like feel bad for. It's not like Superman, who's just like Boy Scout that, you know, is indestructible, can do whatever he wants. You know, his powers came at a great personal cost to him.
Yeah, and he only survived the procedures because he had that healing factor, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of regret I don't know, battling that character in my mind for no good reason other than like just being a kid and like I don't like Wolverine. Everybody likes him. He's dumb. Really stupid.
Oh man, that's funny.
All right, Brian. No more stalling, man. You're up.
This is going to be a little weird because I did get into it a long time ago, but not as early as I could have. I really regret like not being in on the super early con scene. Like when they were called like like Trekkies. They're Trekkers now, or how does it go?
I don't say like the very first like Star Trek conventions and stuff back in the day when they were like in a little hotel side room or something. Yeah.
I remember seeing like a Star Trek convention in probably like 84, 85. It was at the local library, and I guess I have to admit this prejudice. Like everybody around was like, look at the dorks, look at that guy's dressed up, he's got a butt on his head. And I was like 10, I was impressionable, and I was just like, yeah, those guys are weird. And then I just avoided them for years.
You avoided your people for years?
Yeah, man. Like, conventions were cool as shit back then, I bet. Like, I totally missed out.
Me too, man. I really wish I'd gotten in on that nascent scene back in the day. Also came to it later in life and still enjoyed it, but yeah, couldn't agree more. I guess the Renfest would have been the thing that we did that was closest back when we were young, right?
I don't even think that was possible back then. I mean, that was what the first one was in like 92.
Well, yeah. Well, now I'm going back to just like when we were kind of young, but yeah, not kid young. Yeah. Wow. What about you, Cam? Were you a big convention goer way back when they were like early?
Yeah. I think we talked about it last week. Where like I used to go to like the Hollywood Mall, and like they would have those guys just set up with like folding tables in the middle of the mall, where the kiosks are now. Like they would just have those guys just chilling there with like their personal collections. That was like my favorite thing to do in life, was to go there and dig through the collectibles, dig through the comics, dig through the baseball cards, football cards, whatever. That was my absolute favorite thing to do as a kid when we like on the weekends.
There you go. There's your revenge for the Light Bright. Rub it in.
Yeah.
I remember like the day it changed. It was back to Babbage's actually, and that same Star Trek convention was like, 15th anniversary or whatever, and they all poured out into the mall where I was working, and these dudes came in with like full. It was New Generation at the time, New Generation regalia, and I like New Generation.
Next.
I just wasn't into cosplaying or anything like that. This dude like pulled up to buy a video game, had the belt and everything like that. He whipped out his tricorder, punched some shit into it, and his phaser printed his check.
Shut
Here
up.
you go, good sir.
That's awesome.
And I was just like,
cool.
fuck, you guys are awesome.
That is really cool. I thought you were going to tell me he walked up, he's like, in my century, we've evolved past money. I will take the item. Wow, that's cool, man.
That was awesome.
I feel like, I don't know about now, but early Trekkies and Trek convention goers were like the most hardcore of the hardcore.
I think that's what I kind of don't like as much about like newer conventions or whatever. Like, I'm all for embracing new people or whatever, but the fucking loonies are fun, man. Like, you get a bunch of them in a room, you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. At a minimum, an entertaining time. People watching. Anyway, I don't think I have a third one of me, but if any of you have one, you can feel free. If not, we could call this an episode. I think we've kind of covered the bases here and discussed it. There's a little bit of a personal episode. Our audience got to learn a little more about us,
Mm-hmm.
which they may not have wanted to know. We've got plenty more to share.
This will be like the narrowly missed being that episode in the future.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh, God. All right, well, you guys want to call it an episode then?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's an episode! All right. So,
Nice.
thank you.
I see what you did there.
I did. And here's what else I'm going to do. I am going to remind our listeners not to live with the regret that will come from not checking us out weekly, either on iTunes, Google Play Music, or if you prefer a streaming alternative, Stitcher.
Like us on Facebook, add us to your Google Circle, join us on Twitter and Instagram, and join the Nerdstravaganza HQ group on Facebook.
Head on over to nerdstravaganza.com and light up our website. We are really looking forward to your feedback on our new site and all of the bells and whistles we've installed for your viewing pleasure. Jump on over to YouTube and type in Nerdstravaganza into the handy dandy search bar and check out all of our video content. And send us an email at nerdstravaganza@gmail.com and tell us how you are carpaying your DM.
Nice. And with all that said, Brian, take us away.
Do you remember how creepy the light bright clown was?
It was super creepy, yeah. But I still wanted it.
No, I don't. You know, it's so weird. I don't think you realize how creepy clowns in general are until you're older.
That was terrifying. Like I had to do the train over and over.
Wasn't the light bright commercial kind of creepy too? Like light
it was like
bright.
Yeah. Exactly. I still remember the commercial.
Just picture the clown stabbing you to that music. Light bright.
Yep.
Goodbye, everybody.
Take care.